Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a little doing book stuff video because I have recently started a reading journal and I am honestly just so excited. I've been having so much fun with it. I've always been kind of nervous to do a reading journal, very apprehensive because I'm not very good at like tactile art, drawing, doodling, that kind of stuff. So I was always like, I just know it's never gonna be up to the standard that I want it to be because I'm not good at it, but I'm also a perfectionist, which is deeply annoying. But then I saw Maddie Faber and she used like scrapbook paper and I was like, wait, I have so much scrapbook paper, I have so much collage material, magazines, all that kind of stuff because I've been junk journaling this year, so I should just do that. And I am actually obsessed with her currently. I would say she definitely looks quite different, I feel like, than the typical reading journals, but honestly I love it so much and I feel like it shows my personality very well because I love color, patterns, all that kind of stuff. So I thought I would take you guys a bit through what I have, and I currently don't have any of like the books I've read or anything printed out, so it's very like bare bones. This is just like the start of it. Do a little bit of a flip through. So far I have my reading log basically set up exactly how I want it. We just got the number of the book, title, date, and then my star rating. I accidentally put a 4.5 when it's actually a 5-star for Project Hail Mary, but otherwise I love it. I love the dots, I love the stripes. I feel like it's very 2026, very me. Then we have my series tracker, which currently the only series that I am in the middle of and really want to continue are the Thursday Murder Club and then An Ember in the Ashes. And then this I have yet to add the little title. It's my like 2026 shelves, so I put in how many books I've read each month, draw them out so it looks like little shelves, and then I have color coding for the star rating. So I had 2 5-stars and 2 3-stars, which is kind of crazy. And then here I have a lot to still work on these, but this is going to be a Hall of Fame, so it's going to be like every 5-star of the year. So I'm just going to print out like little pictures. I put my Emily Henry book stack sticker because I would say 1, 2, 3 of these are 5-stars. 2 of them are like 4.5s and 1 of them's a 4-star. So definitely big author to live up to. And then we have my monthly faves. So I want to put like 1 book from each month that was my favorite, which I think is going to be really hard to do from last month because I did have 2 5-stars. So I'm just gonna have them out kind of like that with the separation. And then we have my January spread. I didn't know what I wanted to do for my monthly spreads because I feel like a lot of the things I see online are very drawing heavy and I'm not a big drawer, but you know what, I have been getting into like scrapbooking, junk journaling, collaging, so I thought it would be fun and cool and quite different to do a little collage thing. So I want to put all the books that I read in January, a little like recap on what I thought of them, what I rated them when I read them, etc. And then here maybe put like different reading vlogs or book videos that I filmed that have those books. I thought that would be fun. Then I have my February spread, which is basically going to be same thing. Going to put the books that I read here, and then here either like reading vlogs or we'll figure something out. But yeah, I'm really liking it, and I really like the scrapbooky collage of the monthly spreads, just because I feel like I've never seen people do that and I quite like it. But then I also like these. I've always been very against doing a reading journal for myself, just because I'm not very artsy in the way of drawing things. So I was always like, I don't know what to do, I think it's not gonna look cute, and I'm such a perfectionist. But then I was like, wait, I can just do really cute backgrounds, cut out letters, and it'll be a fun time. So yeah, really been liking this. Also, not related to bookish stuff, but like media, I'm doing kind of a similar thing for any movies that I've seen in theaters. So I saw this movie in Serbia, Hajdu ku Beogradu, then I saw Hamnet, which I can't find my ticket, but I do have it, then Nouvelle Vague, and then I need to add in Marty Supreme, my ticket's over there. So yeah, I'm honestly having a lot of fun with this, and I want to just continue doing stuff, but I don't have a printer, so I have to use the printer on campus, so I can't really add in any books and stuff currently, which is quite annoying because I want to like at least do my January spread, maybe add in the 5 stars for my Hall of Fame, but we'll have to do that later. Hey guys, it has been quite a few days. I haven't been really able to do a lot of bookish things in the past week. Uni's just been really heavy, but I did end up finishing the book that I was reading when I started this. I don't even think I told you guys what book I was reading, but I was reading Fireborn, which is the first book in the Aurelian cycle, and now I'm on the second book, Flamefall, and I'm currently like 20% through. So honestly, I've not heard a lot about this series before, but one of my really close friends read it, like the whole trilogy, just kind of binged it and really enjoyed it. I think like literally over the summer, and she's been telling me to read it for ages, and I was just kind of like bored and didn't know what to pick up, so I picked up the first one, not really expecting much, but I honestly really like the writing style. It's basically about a dragon academy kind of situation. I wouldn't even really say Fourth Wing-esque. It's set in the time after the revolution, which I think is quite interesting because typically like fantasy books, you are seeing the revolution take place or like the lead up towards it. So this is set after the revolution, 10 years after the time of like the dragon lords. And so basically now it's a meritocracy, so like dragon riders are awarded based on their merit. And so we follow Lee and Annie, who were both orphans, so classed very low, but they tested really high, and then they became dragon riders and are now, these bells tolling are really annoying, but I'm just gonna hopefully talk over them and you can hear me. They are now competing to be like the top dragon rider of their nation, and that's basically what the first book is about. And got really loud. Okay, also Lee was the son of one of the dragon lords who have all been like killed brutally in this like red wedding style affair at the end of the revolution, but he escaped, which we find out how later on, but basically nobody knows that he's a dragon lord's son. So some people that somehow survived that were related to the dragon boards that are off on some different piece of land, island, I don't really know where we are because there's no map, which is really fun. I'm a map lover. I know so many people skip over maps in fantasy books, which is just absurd to me. I'm constantly looking back at the map to track exactly where people are, where they're flying, I love maps in fantasy books. But anyway, he gets in contact with some of his relatives, and basically he's fighting this like internal battle of like what to do. Does he stay with like the revolutionaries? Does he go back to that? And so that's basically the first book, and then obviously we go more in depth. None of that is spoilers. I don't know if it's said on the back of the book because I read it on my Kobo, but you learn all that stuff pretty early on. I'm on the second book now, which I can't really say much about, but I have to say I think I really just enjoyed the first half of Fireborn a lot, and then it kind of went a little bit downhill for me, and then this I'm just like not really as invested. I really like the character dynamics in Fireborn, especially the first half. I thought it was really interesting seeing the character dynamics between literally everyone, Annie, Lee, all of their friends, different like professors and like authority figures and all that kind of stuff. I found that really interesting, and like the kind of morally grayness, mysterious elements behind Lee and Annie's backgrounds. I thought that was really, really interesting, but I don't know why, but it just kind of fell off, and I'm enjoying it, but like I'm not really like, ooh, I really want to pick it up, which to be fair, like I believe that these are my first 2 fantasy books that I've read in like over 6 months, so like I'm not really, I guess, in the vibe, but like it's a fun, easy time, so I'm reading that. Hopefully we can finish that over the next few days, because actually I'm catching a plane tomorrow, so like probably low-key audiobook the entire rest of that tomorrow. I have like 12 hours, and I have a 3.5-hour coach ride and then like a 3-hour plane, so yeah, hopefully we can do that. I know 6 hours does not equate 12 hours, but I'll read today. I also don't listen on 1 time speed. That's, I think, diabolical. I used to do like 2.5. I've toned it down because I realized that I was just like not taking that much information and not enjoying the books as much when I read them that quickly. So now I do like a 1.5, but like sometimes I need to jack it up to a 1.75 just because I'm like, okay, this is slower than I read and I don't like, no, I don't want that. Literally one time speed is like, hi, and then they ate this and had fun, and I'm like, oh my god, pick it up a little bit. But anyway, I don't think I've had any changes to my reading journal. I'm honestly kind of waiting until tomorrow, not tomorrow, probably the next day when I land and get into Serbia to use the printer so I can do like my monthly faves and very much so like my January and February spreads, because that's going to be like the books that I read. I want to do some like of the reading vlogs that I did, so like I very much need the printer for that. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait until I'm in Serbia and print a bunch. I did add a Wuthering Heights spread. I did sadly watch that. I just felt like I needed to know what really happens in that movie to adequately A, hate on it, B, see if maybe there's at least an element of like joy, you're like just like having fun. Like I was just like, okay, if we remove this from the context of Wuthering Heights, racial erasure, just the entire plot of the actual Wuthering Heights book, is it at least a fun camp movie? And my answer is no. So that was a waste. That was actually so bad. But yeah, did watch that in theaters, so I made a little spread. Kathy only wears black, white, and red, so I just quickly did like a black, I did like black, white, and red heels because I feel like that's very Kathy in the film specifically, and then this I took from the movie theater. So it's funny though because it literally says black cinema always on, and yet this movie erased the racial layers of the text of Wuthering Heights. So that's really fun and interesting, and like love that so much. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna read a little bit more, and Loki, I think that's it for like doing book stuff. Oh my god, I went to the bookstore a few days ago. Literally didn't say that. Oh, it's actually so annoying because there were so many good books and so many books that I wanted to read. Literally picked up so many that looked so interesting, but I am really trying to like cut down my physical TBR. Mind you, this is not all my physical TBR. This is just books that I physically have with me in Bristol. It is not that bad, my TBR. Well, specifically in Bristol, I think if we count the books that I have back in the States, it's not cute. But I'm really trying to cut down my physical TBR and read mainly books for my physical TBR. This deeply not included, and I'm literally filming a vlog that should be the next vlog up after this. I don't know if it's the next video, but it should be the next vlog somewhere around this time. Anyway, so I was like, oh, like I can't buy a book, even though they all looked so good and so interesting. And I really love that bookstore specifically. If you're ever in Bristol, check out, I don't know what it's called, but it's like everything in, all the books in there are £5 or less, and it's so good. Like it's not even like secondhand, it's not even necessarily like older books. I mean, it's not new releases, but like you literally have like Abby Jimenez's in there, you have like relatively recent, you know, fantasies and sci-fis and and like, you know, lessons in chemistry is in there, and like I think I've seen Babel in there. Like it's not new releases like you'd have in like a Waterstones, but like I will take 1, 2, 3 all the way to classics old books for the sake of paying £5 or less instead of literally a tenner, which is great times. I did buy a few books before I left for a winter break, so that's really fun, and that's why I'm not letting myself buy any more, at least in like the foreseeable future. Maybe like as a graduation present before I leave Bristol or something, but that's it. Also, oh my god, we've added sirens onto the bells tolling. I really hope you guys can't hear this, but it's deeply frustrating me. But anyway, let's get to reading.